Hey everyone, welcome back into LufSec channel. My name is Luciano Ferrari. I am cybersecurity professional, ethical hacker, and your guide into the world of hacking IoT devices. So now, if you ever seen a flashy TikTok of the Flipper Zero cloning a garage remote, or read about hackers breaking into cars using wireless key fobs, you've probably wondered, how real is this? And what tools do you actually need to get started? So that's exactly what we are covering today. The best IoT pentesting tools in 2025. And listen, whether you're just curious, starting as a hobbyist, or you are aiming to become a professional pentester, this video is for you. By the end, you will know which tools to buy first, which ones to skip, and how to build a hacking lab on any budget, from $200 all the way up to 2,000 plus. Make sure to stick around until the end, because I will also share the biggest mistakes beginners make, and I'll give you a roadmap to start hacking responsibly without wasting money. Oh, and if you are new here, hit that subscribe button. Every week I post real hacking demos, security breakdowns, and tutorials that take you from zero to cybersecurity hero. Why IoT pentesting tools matter? The world is drowning in IoT devices, smart locks, cameras, doorbells, cars, even refrigerators. In fact, by 2025, we will have more than 30 billion connected devices worldwide. But here's the problem. Most manufacturers prioritize speed, cost, and convenience. That means security often comes last. Let me give you some real examples. The Jeep Cherokee hack in 2015. Researchers remotely took control of a car driving 70 miles per hour on a highway through its infotainment system. Imagine being the driver in that situation. The Mirai botnet in 2016. So hackers turned millions of insecure cameras and routers into a massive DDoS army, knocking big parts of the internet offline. And more recently, smart locks and Bluetooth key fobs have been exploited to silently unlock doors or steal cars parked in driveways. And that's why IoT pentesting is important. These devices aren't just toys. They control our homes, our cars, our workplaces, even hospitals. So if we don't test and secure them, attackers will. But there's a catch. To pentest these devices, you need the right tools. And that's where a lot of beginners get stuck. Do you really need a $1,000 SDR, or can you start with a $20 soldering iron? So let's break it down. Beginner's Toolkit, under $200. First, let's talk about how you can start with under $200. Yes, you can begin IoT hacking without breaking the bank. Flipper Zero, the IoT Swiss Army knife. The Flipper Zero is probably the most famous IoT tool right now. It handles RFID, NFC, sub-gigahertz remotes, infrared, and even basic Bluetooth experiments. It's portable, easy to use, and fun. Is it professional? No, but it's fantastic for learning and demos. And the price is like $170. Multimeter, the most overlooked tool. Before you connect to anything, you need to know if a board is alive. A $15 multimeter lets you check voltages, continuity, ground, and VCC pins. It's simple but essential. Think of it as your doctor's stethoscope. Soldering iron. You need to solder headers to connect to UART or JTAG. And a basic $20 iron is fine for learning. Add some flux and solder wick. You're good. Upgrade later to a station. Logic analyzer. A $20 Silay clone plugs into your laptop and lets you see how chips are talking. With software like PulseView, you can decode UART, SPI, and I2C signals. This is your first step toward real hardware hacking. A target device. Don't start with your Tesla. Pick a cheap IoT gear, smart plugs for $10, old routers for free, or a cheap Wi-Fi camera for $25. Real hardware beats theory every time. So your $200 beginner kit looks like this: Flipper Zero, multimeter, soldering iron, logic analyzer, and add a device to hack. That's enough to get you started. Intermediate toolkit, between $600 to $800. Once you've mastered the basics, you crave more power. And that's where the intermediate toolkit comes in. HackRF One, your first SDR, a software-defined radio, lets you capture and transmit signals across 1 MHz to 6 GHz. That means garage remotes, IoT sensors, even Bluetooth experiments. Mini demo idea. So you can record your garage door remote signal, replay it, and watch the door open. So that's the SDR power. Proxmark3 RDV4, the RFID beast. If Flipper is a toy, Proxmark is a professional tool. So it clones high and low frequency cards, supports corporate badges, and is used in real pen tests. So it's command line heavy, but powerful. The price is about $300. Bus Pirate, Shrika. These let your laptop talk to chips via UART, SPI, and I2C. So perfect for dumping firmware. Prices between $40 to $60. Upgraded soldering station. So now you are soldering often, so invest in stability and adjustable temperature. So options include the Hakko FX 88AD or PineSeal V2. Price is about $100. Firmware analysis tools. So these are free but essential. Beanwalk to extract firmware, Kimu to emulate, Ghidra to reverse engineering. So that brings your intermediate budget to around $700. And at this point, you are ready for professional RFID attacks, SDR hacking, and firmware analysis. Advanced Lab, $2,000 plus. Now, let's say you are serious. So maybe you want to do research, teaching, or consulting. Then it's time for the Advanced IoT Lab. Lime SDR, USRP. So when HackRF isn't enough, you upgrade. So Lime SDR Mini costs around $700 and gives you full duplex. The USRP series is the gold standard, starting at $1,100. JTAGulator. This beauty auto-detects the bug pins. It saves hours of probing, and the price is about $200. Hot air rework station. Essential for desoldering chips safely. Useful for chip-off attacks. The price is about $200. Oscilloscope. So visualize power and signal waveforms. Useful for debugging and side channel attacks. The price is $400 plus. Device collection. At this stage, you want a shelf full of test devices, smart locks, medical gear, car ECUs, doorbells, because real pen testing means real targets. Advanced budgets, it's more than $2,000, but this step is what separates hobbyists from professionals. Let's compare a few key tools quickly. Flipper Zero versus Proxmark 3. Flipper is fun and beginner friendly. Proxmark is for serious corporate pen tests. HackRF versus Lime SDR versus USRP. So HackRF is entry-level, Lime SDR is for researchers, and USRP is enterprise. Basic soldering iron versus full station. $20 iron is fine for learning, but if you are soldering daily, a station is a must. Now, the biggest mistake beginners make: buying too much gear too soon. Don't buy a USRP if you've never touched a HackRF. Skipping the multimeter, it's cheap but critical. not isolating test devices. So never pen test on your main Wi-Fi. Collecting tools, not skills. Remember, tools don't hack. Methodology does. IoT Protocols 101 plus FAQs. RFID, NFC, Flipper, Proxmark. Wi-Fi, Alpha adapters, HackRF. Bluetooth LE, Ubertooth, HackRF. Zigbee, sub-gigahertz, HackRF, Flipper. Debug, UART, JTAG SPI. Multimeter, Bus Pirate, JTAGulator. And let's hit some FAQs. Is Flipper Zero legal? Yes, the tool itself is legal, but how you use it matters. Don't clone badges you don't own. Do I need an oscilloscope? Not as a beginner. Save it for advanced debugging. Can I practice on my smart home? Yes, but better to isolate the devices or buy extra to avoid breaking your main gear. All right, let's wrap up this. So you don't need a $2,000 lab to start. For under $200, you can begin IoT pen testing with a Flipper Zero, a multimeter and soldering iron, and a logic analyzer. As you grow, upgrade step by step. HackRF, Proxmark, Bus Pirate, soldering stations, and eventually SDR and oscilloscopes. Remember, tools don't hack, your methodology does. If you enjoyed this breakdown, so give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with someone curious about IoT security. And if you're ready to move from just collecting gadgets to actually using them responsibly in real pen tests, check out my IoT pen test course at LufSec.com. Inside, I will guide you hands-on through labs with Flipper, HackRF, Proxmark, and more. So this is Luciano Ferrari signing off. Stay safe, keep learning, and I will see you in the next video.